KTN News.
Now, a section of religious leaders have criticized President William Ruto's dismissal and subsequent reappointment of former cabinet secretaries, calling it a gimmick intended to deceive Kenyans. According to the clergy, Gen Z had specific demands that the government must address with genuine goodwill. Speaking from various places of worship across the country, the leaders also urged the youth to allow room for talks to resolve the situation. Alan Ochanda reports.
A significant shift has occurred since the onset of the Gen Z-led demonstrations demanding major governance reforms, with places of worship now free from political discourse. Previously, pulpits had turned into political stages. After Sunday's service, the clergy voiced their stance on the current political turmoil, calling for a ceasefire.
I only pray for the dialogue that will be found is the dialogue that will represent every need of the parties, especially the Gen Zs. This nation, we should not begin killing our children. When they are asking for the bread, we kill them.
Right now, the opposition is trying to mend up with the government. So the Gen Z, you are the next opposition. So for me, I want the Gen Z to fire up. The Gen Z to fire up.
Last week, religious leaders led by the Anglican Church of Kenya's Archbishop David Ole Sapit condemned the killings witnessed during the nationwide demonstrations and called for dialogue. Political leaders are also weighing in. Some county governors keen to prevent similar occurrences plan to engage the youth next week.
Wiki ijayo nimeandaa mkutano, a physical meeting na Gen Z wote wa Kakamega ili tuweze kujadiliana vile tunasaidiana kuongoza kaunti yetu. Gen Z umeongea, mlishurutisha rais akazikiza, na pia mimi nimesema we must give an opportunity to our Gen Zs so that they can participate in the leadership and development of our county and our country.
The Gen Z's riot call, the Gen Z's call, is only a call for reform so that Kenya can be a better place to live in. You do not run away when your children ask for reform. We need the government of Kenya to be in place to secure our tomorrow.
Although President Ruto has met some of the Gen Z's demands, his dismissal and subsequent rehiring of cabinet secretaries has angered some Kenyans.
The firing of the cabinet was hoodwinking people. And I think what the president has done, he has made people to be more angry. And probably he doesn't want people to leave the protests. He is refueling the protests. And even when he is asking who is really funding the Gen Z protest, I think he is the greatest funder.
So sometimes the issue of education and other considerations don't matter in a cabinet. The commitment and the passion by that minister to deliver results is very, very important. And that's why we somehow abandoned the performance contracting, or it has been more of symbolic than factual. I think it is a high time that the president put back the cabinet to performance contracting so that each MDA, each ministry, departments are able to operate on a very, very, very tangible results which are measurable and on which the minister can be held to account.
Despite ongoing calls for dialogue and the president's partial concessions, the head of state has warned the youth against holding demos. Alan Ochanda, KTN News.
Well, we want to take a short break, but before we do that, let's give you the breaking